Y'all, so if you guys have been following this channel for more than like a week, you'll know why this is kind of important for it to be here right now, that is. Because AYN is known so far for having to delay their devices after the pre-order. And now we're here 2 months before the device was even supposed to launch, and I have mine. And this isn't because it's like a review or anything. This is because they got them shipped out early. That's something they haven't done before on any of their devices. It's very interesting, and I'm interested in how they did that, because I don't know. Maybe they just said December is like a good date, but then we're able to move it to, we're in November now. They started shipping in early October. Who knows? But let's just get this open. So this is the Odin 2. I have my original Odin and its dock right over here. And I have the Loki Max over here. The Loki Zero is over in its case over somewhere else. So we're gonna open this up. So DHL is the only, like, I think DHL was the only option I had for it to ship. I've never actually, aside from all these AYN products, used DHL before. Here we have the Odin 2 outside box. This looks pretty much the same as what the original Odin's box came in. That came in like kind of like a flip out box too. I think the Loki did too, but let's get this thing open. I'm really excited for this thing because this thing was powerful, but it's been like a year and a half, and this thing was like $200, $300 more. So we're gonna see what it can do. Here is a piece of foam. Here's the box. I ordered it in black, so it better be in black. Here are the specs I have. Black Max, 16 gigabytes of RAM and 512 gigabytes of storage. It has like a pull-out now. That's weird. They always do these like really cool box designs, and I appreciate that. AYN. Look at this. Why do they always go with the holographics? Like, I get it. It's gamers. Oh. Odin 2. We got some specs here. Here's the interface, and here's the system parameters, system specs. They did that with the original Odin. This is just a more appealing way of displaying it compared to a booklet that came with the original Odin. The reason I went with black here is because I wanted to get it in the same color as my original Odin, just so we can do some good comparisons and see how it's changed between the two models. I wonder if there's anything under the Odin, so let's check that out before. Oh, there is. Okay. I'm assuming this is a USB-C cable. It's a C-to-C. How long is it? I love C-to-C cables. Oh, and it's got their logo on it. I haven't watched any unboxing videos or any videos on the Odin 2 up until this point, so I didn't know what any of this, what this unboxing experience was going to be like. It's not too long. Like, it won't fit in the shot if I go in 0.5, but like, it's not the longest thing in the world. Let's get this out so that we can take a look at it. Oh, we can already tell it's much thicker than before. Okay, here we have the device. Let's get it out of this plastic here. That looks sleek. Is that the power button? Oh, same RGB lightings around the sides. It's not as expansive as the Loki, because the Loki had it like all the way down, but it's fine. It's just like, it's just a feature. Who really cares? For a second, I thought it would be like a fingerprint sensor, but nowhere on here does it say that. So I don't know why the power button just looks like that. These joysticks, they feel a lot like the ones on the Pocket 2S in that they're like concave, like in their, like how you rest your fingers, which I actually do prefer compared to the original Odin, which had these like, I guess convex thumbsticks, and they didn't travel very far. These seem to have a lot more travel, and I think these are Hall effect, so that would be good. It seems that they took a lot of design cues from the Loki when designing this thing. Got a mini HDMI port like we did last time, the analog triggers and shoulder buttons, volume up and down, on, off. We got start and select in the right places this time. We got a back button and a home button. A D-pad, it looks very similar to the one on the original Odin, if a little bigger. I kind of wish they went with one that's more similar to the Loki's D-pad, just because I think that one's clickier and nicer, but this will definitely suffice. These face buttons look like a lot bigger. They really don't feel all that clicky. First impressions might be pretty weak, But on the back, we got this grill, we got the back buttons, the like M2 and M3 or whatever, and that's pretty much it in terms of hardware. These grips are bigger than the ones on the original Odin. I don't know if you can tell, and it does look a little taller. But besides that, let's get this thing turned on. AYN. Hi, AYN. Ooh. Oh, that animation is sick. Why are you doing this? Welcome to Odin 2. Next, select your language, connect to the internet. Let's connect to the internet. Ooh, the haptics in here feel a lot better than the ones in the original Odin. I mean, obviously I haven't tested them out in any games yet, but typing on the keyboard, like just feeling these haptics felt a lot better. Time zone settings. I didn't really like the Odin launcher the last time I tried it because it didn't work that well. And the AOSP is just bare Android, which I think looks really nice. Oh, these shoulder buttons feel a lot better. And they're also a lot bigger. Navigation bar style. I'm gonna do gesture because we already have these buttons here. So configuration, please start. Here we are. We got the Odin launcher. It immediately brought us over here. It's at 24%. You're kidding me. And it's in performance mode. There's performance. I mean, there's standard, performance, and high performance. I'm putting it into performance. Let's plug this thing into my computer and put some stuff on it. Whoa, what was that? That's perfect. Let's get some ROMs on here. This thing is this thing has 512 gigabytes of internal storage, and it's 16 gigabytes of RAM on an Android device. So we are going to test this thing out. I don't want to transfer everything all at once because I know that's going to take forever. Let's just transfer one thing. Let's try a Switch game. User early access is now on here. Why would I give it permission for notifications? Keys, I have it, but we're going to skip that for now. Okay, imported successfully. Got the volume all the way up. We're going to turn it into high performance. Okay, let's just try out Mario Wonder. User isn't responding. Whoopsies. Okay, so there's either something wrong with my ROM or like the device isn't working well, but I am going to find out what is wrong. I'm gonna figure this all out and come back tomorrow with my initial impressions. Okay, y'all, I figured out I was using the wrong product keys, and now Yuzu's working. How well it's working actually looks like it's working pretty well, but I'll come back tomorrow and tell you guys what I think. All right, guys, so I've been using the Odin 2 for like a day, like a little less, actually a little more than a day. And I've been testing it out, playing a bunch of games, mostly emulation, just because I'm not big in Android gaming, but I will be testing that out more as I use this device more. So my first impressions are very positive. This thing is very powerful. With the original Odin, which I have right here, you would have to put this in like high performance or like pretty, like whatever the medium performance mode was, to get it playing like higher end GameCube games and Wii games. There's standard performance and high performance. So if you put it in standard, you would get like okay performance in terms of like some GameCube games. This thing, I have it in standard performance and I'm getting Wii games running at full speed, which I think is very interesting. So this thing is definitely way more powerful. It also has a bigger battery, and that definitely shows when you're using it in standard power like options, because I was playing Kirby Return to Dreamland, not a very powerful, like demanding game, but it's still a Wii game. And I played that for about an hour, I think, earlier today, and that got me down to 90% from 100. So I think this thing is gonna have pretty great battery life, probably the best battery life out of all of AYN's products, because I don't know why I'm picking this cable up. Probably the best battery life out of all of AYN's products, just because the Odin original had a good battery life, but it was a smaller battery, and the Loki is a Windows handheld, so you don't really expect good battery life from that. I also really like the design. It seems that they've taken the kind of best of both worlds between the original Odin design, which had like some small grips and like fun design, and the Loki, which had big grips and is thick, which makes it really comfortable to hold. It seems that they've taken more from the Loki than the original Odin, but I'm really okay with that because I love the Loki Max and like all the other Loki models for their design. So I love having more of a grip to rest my hands on, and these triggers, I feel like they have more travel distance. They definitely do. Emulation is really good. Like I said, Wii games run really well at normal performance, and with Yuzu on Android now, you can play Switch games. I'm not advocating for you to, but you can. The hardware is really good. I don't know if I drove that home yet. I really like the hardware. Compared to the original Odin, I think the D-pad on here is much more comfortable to hold and use for long periods of time, because using the original Odin's D-pad, I feel like I would get cramped a little easier, whereas on here I have more space around the rounded edge, and I get to rest my hand and use my thumb while it's like down here, which makes it more comfortable. It's not that big of a deal, but I did want to point that out. So my initial impressions on this device are very positive. I really like this thing so far. I did get the 16 gigabytes of RAM, 512 gigabytes of storage option, so I am getting the best of the best. But I think if you get any model, you'll probably be happy with what you buy. If you want good power, like you want to try Switch games, but you care like more about Wii and GameCube or like other Android games, you should get the Pro model or even the base model. But besides that, I think this thing is really great. I really love it so far. I'm gonna do a full review like maybe next week or the week after, depending on how long I want to spend with the device before I review it. But I really like it so far. So I'll see you guys next week, I guess, for my full review. Goodbye.